Jay-Z even allowed David to stay and live with the king in the palace. I learned from the story. Hello everyone, welcome to the Children's Bible Discussion with the General. My name is the Little Banger, and today I have with me Daniel and Samuel. So guys, last week we talked about David and his family, but this week we're going to be talking about David in the king's palace. So guys, please, before I continue, please, I would like you to share, follow, and like. So, chapter 2, David in King Saul's palace. David and his father Jay-Z were delighted when King Saul sent for David to come to the palace. Jay-Z even allowed David to stay and live with the king in the palace. At the palace, David met the children of King Saul, which are namely Michal, Merab, Jonathan, Ammon, Ishmaelite, and Malachai. Merab was the eldest daughter of King Saul, while Michal was the youngest daughter of King Saul, and Jonathan was the eldest son of King Saul. King Saul loved David greatly, so he made him his armor bearer. David and Jonathan, the king's son, also loved each other, and they made a covenant to be faithful to each other for life. David was a wise, hardworking, and devoted servant that King Saul therefore made David a captain of 1,000 soldiers. So guys, now it's time to close your book. Question time. And before we go to the question, let's define some words that you may not understand. Armor bearer, someone who carries the armor of his master. Armor, a metal shield worn to protect the body in battle. Service, the action of helping or doing work for someone. A covenant, an agreement. Daniel, how did David get to the palace?
Because King Saul sent for him.
Number 2, Samuel, was David in the palace to beg the king for money?
No.
So guys, you can also drop your answers down in the comments. Samuel, according to the above passage, how many daughters did King Saul have?
0.
Daniel, why did the king make David a captain?
Because he was a wise, devoted servant.
Did David leave his father's house without his father's approval? Someone?
No.
So guys, now what did you learn from the story? You can drop down in the comments. But what I learned from the story,
I learned that is good to ask your father for anything. One day a king needs your help.
but what I learned from the story is that King Saul loved David greatly, so he made him his armor bearer. But because David was a wise, hardworking, and devoted servant, and he was also faithful to God, King Saul then gave him promotion from an armor bearer to the captain of 1,000 soldiers. So I would advise you that in anything you do, be wise, devoted, and hardworking. Thank you, and thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next week in chapter 3. Bye.